January 8, 2023. 1 week after the inauguration of the current President Lula, Brasilia protesters dressed in green and yellow, supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, invaded public buildings. The 2022 election battle between Lula and Bolsonaro was the most fiercely contested in the history of Brazilian democracy. Lula won by 2 million votes, and Bolsonaro supporters alleged that the electronic voting machines were tampered to ensure his victory. Unhappy with the final results, they vandalized Brazil's presidential palace, the Palácio do Planalto, the National Congress, and the Supreme Court. Police arrested more than 2,000 people. 1 year later, the proceedings against the alleged perpetrators continue. Because the siege is considered a crime against the state, the Supreme Court has taken over the cases. 66 people are in custody, with 30 of them already convicted for the crime of attempting to overthrow the leadership. Sentences range up to 70 years in prison. In 2023, a congressional committee accused former President Bolsonaro of being involved in organizing the attacks. Bolsonaro is under investigation, but has not been charged. The former leader claims he was denied the right to defend himself during a congressional investigation. A survey released on Sunday and conducted by the Quest Institute, a research firm, found that 9 out of 10 Brazilians disapprove of the protest. 1 year later, there is uneasy among many Brazilians.
I think every voter who cast their ballot felt hurt by the invasion. It's as if my vote wasn't accepted.
My family is evangelical. The majority voted for Bolsonaro. Even a year later, there are still arguments and rivalry. I feel like we are still divided as a country.
To mark 1 year since the attacks, President Lula summoned political leaders, ministers, and governors to a ceremony Monday in Brasilia. Lula's government has worked to alleviate anti-democratic pressures with positive economic outcomes in 2023. The government ended the year with a 7.5% unemployment rate, the lowest since 2015. Inflation is also down, and the government reports a rise in the average income of Brazilians. Still, the country is divided.
It's not
an antidote or infallible vaccine. Brazilian society remains divided. If the election were today, polls show that Lula and Bolsonaro would still be splitting the votes of the electorate. Politics is a construction, and Brazilian democracy remains fragile.
Experts warn these divisions won't end anytime soon in Brazil. Bolsonaro can run again, but his Riot supporters are determined to put a like-minded candidate in office in 2026 and remove the left from power. At the same time, leftists are determined to hold on to it. Edgar Maciel, VOANews, Sao Paulo.